Alright, so you have a 96, 98 Civic with a D16Y7. That's the non-VTEC single cam D series. And you want to put in a B16. The way I am doing this, I am reusing the D16Y7 engine harness and modifying it to work on the B16. You don't have to extend any wires, but you will have to modify two sensors. That sensor is for the intake temp sensor and the idle air control valve, because on the D16Y7 it has this connector for the IAC, and the temp sensor uses the square peg. The square peg obviously doesn't go into a round hole. And this is the IAC. You will have to convert this from a 3-wire to a 2-wire, which is very simple. You basically will depin the wires. This orange wire that used to be on the 3-pin, you will discard it. Now, how you do it's up to you. I don't like cutting anything, so I put a piece of shrink wrap, shrinked it, folded it, and put this yellow piece over it. That way it's not making any connections, in case somehow power gets to it and touches metal and decides to ground out and throw a fit. And then you will have to cut and modify it, because the pins that are left over will not fit into the I got another connector here. They will not pin into the 2-pin connector because they have, let's see if I can zoom in, they have these notches sticking up and they won't work. So the only 2 connectors you have to cut is for the IAC converting from 3-wire to 2-wire and the air intake temp sensor. I use the Honda electrical work and diagrams. It's pretty simple. The plugs you will have left over that you will not be using is this connector. I believe this is the C114. This is for the EVAP PURGE. This is the C102 for this CKF sensor. And then this O2 wire, that is the downstream O2 sensor. Now, since I'm converting the car to OBD1, the P28 won't be looking for this. You will need an O2 extension harness because this plug used to be in the front and would not reach. I don't like cutting wires, or if I do, as least as I have to modify. So I bought an extension harness, O2 extension harness from Rywire. Other than that, you basically just reroute some wires. You don't have to really do too much to make it work. The only wire you might want to extend, and it's entirely up to you, is the reverse sensor, because this used to have a bracket that went here and came over here, and the plug would be here, and that wouldn't reach. So I just unclipped it, and once I get motor in the car, I'll rearrange this to where it's tidy and out of the way. As far as the VTEC goes, since my motor was single cam, no VTEC, I grabbed apologize, the garage is a mess. I've been here for 2 days rewiring everything. I grabbed a VTEC sub harness. So it's got the pressure switch, knock switch, an activation, and then your ground. And then I have it set up on a quick disconnect because I got a jumper harness from Monotech and asked him to make the VTEC sub harness separated. That way I don't have to fish it through the firewall every time I need to pull the motor out. So I can just disconnect it from inside the cabin and pull the motor out as normal. Again, very simple. So your C102, that's your CKF sensor. And where's it at? On here. This is your CKF 102. These are your colors involved: white, red stripe, brown with a black stripe, and blue with a red stripe. And then your C114, which is 2R EVAP purge control, that went to this little black box sensor on the side of the old intake manifold. And that is your 104 black, yellow, red, yellow, and the C125. This is your secondary 4-wire, your secondary O2 sensor, and white, red stripe, white, yellow stripe, black, yellow stripe, and a black and white stripe. Very, very simple. It's not complicated, so don't stress out about it. I searched and searched on the internet and could get no straight answers from anybody or videos. So that's why I'm making this one. Everything will go back into the cabin like it's supposed to. I have more than enough room to run it back up to the shock tower where it used to be. This is my alternator connection and my power. Once I get the O2 on, I will finish up tidying up the harness, and then I will pull the harness back off, clean everything, rewrap it, and then prepare to drop it in the car. Again, this is a B16A2 from an EM1. It's being converted to OBD1 to run to the EK to run a P28. Now, if you have an EM1, you have the engine harness and ECU, and you try to plug it in, it's not going to work. Different harnesses, different pin layouts. I'm sure it can be wired in to make it work, but I don't have that enough patience. So thank you for watching. Here's the stamp in case y'all need to see what motor it is. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, so I'm going to finish cleaning up my mess before the wife kills me, because I'm in her garage making a mess. I gotta finish putting the AC harness and the AC condenser sub harness back on, slowly but surely. And then yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.